Let's find out who is the T-102 SportsNow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. This student athlete showed their mettle in competition and put up incredible numbers, just like Fanelli, Evans, and Patel. With over 100 years of combined experience, the attorneys at Fanelli, Evans, and Patel provide results you can count on.
Back with another Fanelli, Evans, and Patel T102 SportsNow.com Athlete of the Week. This week's honor going to Nativity senior hurdler and sprinter, Noah Dolbin. Noah, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So you're a Schuylkill League champion ×3 this year. You shatter some of the meet records that had stood for 10 or 15 years in the 110 and 300 hurdles. And of course, you guys get the 4x4. No surprise there after winning a state title last year. So I want you to kind of take us back to those races. What was it like knowing, between all the sports you play, football, basketball, track, that this was going to be your last Schuylkill League championship meet?
It's definitely a crazy feeling. I mean, I was looking at the record sheet before the meet and seeing that 14, I think it was 14.34 in the 110s, and seeing the 39.1 in the 300s, I knew I could get it. So it kind of brought an extra form of excitement. And the last time leagues was at Mono, I actually had appendicitis my freshman year. So I missed out on that chance to run at Mono. So this is the first time I've run at Mono for leagues. And I mean, it was really exciting. It was crazy. The hurdles are really feeling like they're coming together. It was definitely the best 110 race I ran, definitely the best 300 race I ran. So I just feel like everything I've done over the past 3-4 years is really coming together, and hopefully I can continue that on to districts.
Yeah, and you talk about it being a historic year for the Schuylkill League meet. Not only you breaking the times that stood for a while in 110 and 300, but really competition across the board. I think some of the fastest sprinters that this league has ever seen. So how do you think the talent throughout the league this season prepares you and your teammates to go into districts and states?
I mean, when the Schuylkill League is when there's guys running like they are, and you really seeing competition throughout the year like you are, it's not a really like huge surprise when you go to districts and you're seeing faster people. So it really starts to prepare you over these dual meets and whatnot to see what you're going to see in districts and states. So it's really cool, especially seeing like Chase and Luke Miller running these like 10-4, 10-5, 10-6s. It's insane. And it's so fun to watch.
I know you did both hurdles. You did the 4x4 and the long jump at leagues. So give us a look ahead. Your next 2 days coming up at districts in Whitehall. What events are you in, and what do you have to do to qualify for states?
So tomorrow I'm doing 110 trials and long jump. So I think the qualifying time for long jump's 21.6. So got to hit that. I'm hoping my goal this year has been 23. So I go into every meet trying to get 23, 23, 23. Hoping tomorrow's the day I do it. And 110s, I just got to go out there, run my race to qualify for finals. The last time districts was at Whitehall, I actually DQ'd from the 110 trials, which was rough. But then I went over to long jump and I jumped a PR. It was like 22.3, which got me to states. So, and tomorrow I also have the 300. So I just got to go out there and run my race and should gold.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, you're committed to Army, headed to West Point after graduation, and going to start your college football journey there. When we talked to you last summer, back when you announced your commitment, you mentioned a couple personal goals you had, one of them involving your weight. I think you wanted to get to 195 before football, and then you were talking about getting up to 210, 215 in college. I think you also mentioned you wanted to get faster and stronger. So now that, almost a calendar year has gone by since you sort of set those goals for yourself, how has track specifically helped you hit those goals to get faster and stronger?
When I run throughout track season, you notice your legs getting stronger. Like at all those sprinting workouts and all the hills you're running, you really notice your legs getting stronger. And even if I'm not squatting that much during track season, when I go into the weight room and I squat, I notice that I got a lot stronger. Like I've hit like 50-pound PRs from not even squatting over 3 months just from running. And that's what I noticed. And I'm actually sitting at 186 right now. weight wise. I got a little sick over last summer, which dropped me down. It was about 20 pounds. I got really sick over July, so that was tough to come back from. But I got all of it back, and once I go to college, yeah, the prep school, you see these guys, and they show these like before and after photos of these guys at the prep school, and they're putting on like 25 pounds in 3 months. So I'm really excited for that, and it's gonna be really awesome.
Yeah, and you come from a good gene pool, outstanding family tree of athletes. I'm sure people bring this up to you all the time, but we know your grandfather Jack started in a Super Bowl for the Broncos in 1978, and your dad, played with Brian. He played with Brian Westbrook at Villanova, one of the best Nova teams ever back in '97. So, what is it like knowing you get to carry on this Dolbin legacy, and then also what connections have you been able to make growing up, in a football family?
Oh, it's really awesome knowing. Sometimes I think about it, it's like, what if I could play for Pottsville? Because my grandfather played for Pottsville, my dad played for Pottsville. Pretty much my whole family played Pottsville football, and so I've always thought about that. But living in the Blue Mountain area, Nativity was like the closest thing I could get to Pottsville. So it's a really cool thing about it. Like when I go into Pottsville's basketball locker room, I see my grandfather's name up on the wall, and it's really cool. It's a really cool reminder of where I came from and what they've done. And yeah, the connections, going up to Villanova. I mean, everybody in that Nova football family knows my dad. He's going to the golf tournaments and he's going to all the stuff. He does like he meets with the players. He does like he talks with them and stuff. So it's really cool when I go up there and I'm able to talk to the coaches and they really know my dad. And he really opened up a lot of doors for me, especially I went down to Wake Forest and the coach of Wake Forest coached my dad in college. So it's really cool to go down there and talk to him and ask him for advice on my future. So it's just really cool. It opens a lot of doors.
Yeah, and right now we know you're laser focused on this district meet and then eventually states. But I do have to ask, more about your next chapter here at West Point, because I'm really curious. From your experience going through this process, what have you learned so far is different about playing at a service academy versus a normal school when it comes to your recruitment, scholarship, NIL, transfer portal, and other things that are going on in college football? And then also tell us about the commitment that you're required to make to your country when you decide to play for Army.
Yeah, so definitely the biggest thing from a service academy to a regular college is just all the discipline that they're putting on you with the military. But even if you go to any other college, I mean, you're playing football, like it's still you got to be disciplined. You gotta. So I feel like people get that mixed up. Like you're going in there and it's like hardcore, super military, but still, it's still rigorous. Like it's not going to be easy, and that's what you notice a lot. And stuff with the transfer portal. The thing with West Point is you're not committed to the military until the start of classes your junior year. So you see a lot of guys transfer after their sophomore year, but the NIL up there, the guys up there can't receive any money, but you get paid while you're up there. You get paid a stipend while you're at school from the military. You can't receive any NIL money at all, and you won't see any guys transfer in.
Well, yeah, I was always curious about how that worked out. Thanks for that insight. Before we get you out of here, I want to have a little fun. Let's do some this or that Schuylkill County edition. We'll start it off hunting or fishing.
This year was the year I got back into it. I went when I was super little, and then I haven't hunted since up until this year. And I got 2 deer this year, and it was the most fun I've ever had outside. So definitely hunting.
Absolutely. Would you rather go hiking in the woods or swimming in a lake?
Swim in the lake.
In the summer, hanging out, you'd rather be at a bonfire or a block party?
Bonfire for sure. Nothing beats that.
And then I read you're from the Orgsburg area, so you want to grab a slice of pizza, Russo's or Valeni's?
I like Russo's wings more, but I think I'll have to go with Valenti's pizza. But also, mustard seed is also really good up there, pizza wise.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to start up my EA Sports Dynasty in the fall with the Black Knights. We're gonna be running the triple. We're gonna be running the triple option. I promise I'll find a way to get you some targets though. Still. So yeah, on behalf of everybody from T102 Sports Now, congratulations on your accomplishments. We wish you the best going forward. Going to be covering you here at districts and states, and really appreciate you joining us today, Noah.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Check us out next Wednesday for another T102sportsnow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. At Fanelli, Evans, and Patel, get the best when faced with the worst.